I never really, I didn't want to be a leader. It's not, there is no purpose in leading. People want to lead the others. They want to, you know, in my case, I was totally different. It's always been about doing my things. And at some point, I just had to organize it and lead because people were relying on me. So it came to me. It's not the other way around.
Yeah.
So leading was something that was just necessary for the next step.
So it's not that
we're doing something here, and okay. What about let's come together, and what about doing this? Okay. Yeah, great. Oh, yeah, let's do that. Boom. So yeah. I'm like a natural leader, without like wanting it. I don't do things to lead.
Yeah.
It's not my best. It's more a tool.
Yeah. You didn't choose it. It came to you.
Yeah, I didn't choose it at all.
Yeah.
I was shy. I was just doing my things in my corner, and at some point I was like, "Come on! I mean, we need to do something here. It's like we want to achieve this. I mean, we have to do it. So okay, come guys, let's talk." You know. So.
Yeah. Okay. So let's continue for the next question.
Okay.
So yesterday you did the international meetup for Project ZEPHIR, and of course you were in that position. And how did it feel to get all these people? You had so many people connecting in this adventure and philosophy of yours. How did it feel?
So it was very special, a very special meeting because it was an internal meeting. It was not open to people from outside. So it was just the people involved in the project. So it's about 80 people throughout the planet. So it's a lot just for one project. But in the meantime, most of these people don't know each other. It's just about having one goal, one vision, and they said, okay, that's great, we want to step in. But not much more than that, you know, because some of them didn't even start anything. It's just about the vision, and they want to help, and they have people about sensors, connectors, I don't know, fibers, optical fibers embedded, I mean, technical things.
Yeah, there were so many different people from various fields. It was amazing. Yeah.
Epigenetics, Suzanne, and highly sensitive people, and like all this mix of people and know-hows. And yesterday the purpose was to build a community, to build and connect the dots. You know, you have all these people around the planet, and we spoke together. I could meet some of them. And all of a sudden you're like, okay, it looks like there's some fit, and you need to do like, boom, okay, there is something. And people can rely and trust you.
Yeah, yeah.
So that was the purpose of yesterday. So that was a very special experience for me, because all of a sudden you start from, there is something with a great idea, looks good, many people involved, or I would say interested, and all of a sudden, in 1 hour, you switch to something that is really here, like something solid.
Yes.
So that was a challenge. That was a challenge yesterday.
Yeah, they were emotionally invested, and it was mind-blowing for many people to hear what is possible and what you're doing. Can you explain one more time, what is the goal?
So the goal here is to bring a human being going on the water, just using the wind, so sailing, faster than ever. Faster is like above 120 kilometers on the water. Mm-hmm. So it's like 66 knots, nautical knots. And the whole idea is to extend the technical level of the gears, but also to connect the human being that is windsurfing, or like windsurfing, because we don't really know what's going to happen or what it will be, what it will look like. But we have one human being, some gears around using the wind and being on the water. Maybe it's touching the water, maybe it's not really touching the water. We don't really know yet. But all this thing is interconnected, and it's behaving like a new alive system around the human being. And this whole thing is connected to the elements. And that's because you're like highly connected to the elements, like a seagull, you know, on the ocean that is using like low energy, is going fast around the waves. My vision, our vision, is to create the same thing with the human being. Mm-hmm. And so it's highly sensorial, it's highly technical. So that's the whole project. That's the vision of ZEPHIR.
Yeah, and highly sensitive, right? Because highly sensitive people like to have that overview. So, like you said, the eagle over the sea. That's how highly sensitive people feel safe. And I really I liked it when you said that you and Antoine are rethinking the whole system. It's not something that is already planned, or it's a 3-year project, and that it started 30 years ago.
Yeah, it started years ago. That's the crazy. The crazy thing about this, like the mind-blowing thing about this, is that we started 30 years ago by creating a new sail, and we wanted to go fast, and it was technical. And then in the meantime, Antoine was starting the international level of competing in windsurfing. So, and then he became 25 world champion in windsurfing, which is like the most titled French sportman, which is like amazing. And on my side, I've been going through many world records on biking, mountain biking with Eric Baron and some others, and my experience in the industry of leading projects. And after all these 30 years, our roads, we cross path again, and we're like, okay, let's do something now. And it's all about starting, as you're saying, from the blank sheet and allowing anything to happen. But around the table, around this blank sheet, we just have the best people on the planet. Yeah. People who work on Formula One, America's Cup. It's not working on the America's Cup. It's also like Martin, who is part of the core team. Martin is co-designer of Luna Rossa. Okay, you know Luna Rossa in Italy? So this creates a challenge for the America's Cup for the next one. So he's in Auckland now. So Martin is designing Luna Rossa. He's the co-designer. And then we got the people working on the International Space Station, people working on the fighter planes, people working on many fields, and on the ocean races. So we put all these guys, all these people around the table, and we orchestrate. We create a symphony. Yeah. So something amazing would come out. And we know that's going to happen. We know it.
Yeah, well, I did already yesterday. And I was really curious because, of course, when you introduced me and we talk about HSP, highly sensitive person, what was it like for you to share, to be identified and not coming out of the closet, but to be identified as a highly sensitive person within various fields that not everybody has heard of? Well, that you can be a highly sensitive person, that this is a character trait.
No, I would say nobody in the audience really know about this. So we started the meeting. I wanted to put one thing. One is about the fact that people went on the moon, and they went there for. That was a lot about technology. That was a lot about nation. That was a lot about exploration, but very technical. But when they've been there on the moon, watching our planet, watching Blue Marble, it was like emotionally such an impact, the overview, this kind of change in their mind, change in what they brought back to Earth. It was not about the technical side. It was a lot about emotions, and like we are on a tiny little planet, and we need to save it and be careful, and take care of it. Yeah. And so I wanted to start the meeting with this vision that I use in my talks, in my conferences, and switch also to this emotional side of the project, with UltraPerformance and the human side. And so I wanted you to be introduced at almost the very beginning, just to put some kind of impact and say, okay, guys, like it's open here. Like we can, okay, you know.
I felt that. I felt.
It's like, okay, just release the pressure. It's like,
yeah.
We all here are performers, competitors, like all these guys. I don't know. I think that among the group yesterday, maybe there was 200 world titles, around maybe 300 between the Formula One, the many things, and it's like, I mean, amazing.
Yeah.
But in the meantime, as soon as you say, okay, you know what, it's also a lot about human connection and emotions, all of a sudden it's like, okay.
Yeah.
So, you
that
know,
was visible. Yeah.
Could you get that? Could you get that?
Yeah. I observed it, of course, but I saw that happening, and it was really beautiful to see that from there you really set an example yesterday by doing that, by opening up this topic, and it takes a lot of courage. And then because of you doing that, I saw with the other gentleman that there was a recognition and a feeling of safety in that way.
Yeah. It's a kind of, it's a key point.
Yeah.
Because then after that, you can, when you allow yourself to expose yourself a little bit, which is about saying, okay, it's about sensitivity, it's also about connection, okay. And then you're like, okay, now let's try to do our best, you know? It's part of us, I mean, connection is part of us, it's okay. We can be vulnerable. And then you're like, okay, let's talk now about the technical side. Let's talk about the project and how we're going to make it, because we have to make it. That's the purpose, is to get there. We need to perform. So now we can, the pressure is released. We can talk about technical things, some kind of boring things sometimes, but it's very important to go through this, you know. Yeah. But you start with the emotional side. If you do the other way around, it doesn't work well, because everybody is like stressed up by the, okay, I need to be good, I need people to see me, that I know my stuff. And you do the other way around, it's like, okay, it's not celebrating. You celebrate the humanness before.
Yeah.
And it's so good to be together.
Yeah.
And then, okay, let's, you know, it's like, let's put the sleeves up and let's work and let's create some stuff. Let's create some amazing results.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, wonderful. You know, we forgot to introduce ourselves. But I'm Suzanne. I'm the founder of the International HSP Center. And here's Marc Amerigo. We were passionately speaking about yesterday's meeting. And Marc is UltraPerformance, all about UltraPerformance, and his project is called ZEPHIR. And not every week, we try to do it every week, but sometimes twice a month, we are documenting his journey with the project of ZEPHIR and Antoine. And if you have any questions for Marc Amerigo, you can comment on this video or send us an email. I always note Marc Amerigo's details, the info details, so you can also contact him. And well, see you next time. That's wonderful.
I'm very happy to be part of this program, that we are documenting it. There is so much happening and so much to come. So it's a great moment together. It's almost every week, you know. It's like we're not that far from it.
Yeah, true. Okay, thank you.
Thank you very much.